I'm just a prop.
You're necessary.
Oh, am I? Yo, this lighting is doing something for you today.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the light looks nice.
You know what I'm saying?
It's my after birthday clothes.
After birthday.
How old you turn, big OG?
Yep.
Oh, wait, no.
Yeah, it's not a number.
Exactly.
Yup, it's crazy.
Still slapping the scoreboard on you bastards.
God.
Every year. They try to.
Who opens up the show? Just so I know who
I
put it
do.
on first. Perfect. Cool.
Make sure you let Bo Beth say her credentials. She's big boss energy over here.
Okay.
Did you get hold of your friend? Did he respond?
Yeah, he said they were making the chicken.
Child, they just killed that damn chicken, child.
He said they didn't have anything ready, so they told him they had to wait.
Oh no.
So he's making.
That's good. We want fresh chicken.
So he said they were making it.
For sure.
I was like, look, we about to start. Don't call my phone.
Let us
I've
know
turned it
when
to
we're
ring off.
live, boss.
Yep. So you're officially live.
Oh,
on
why did you make this
Instagram,
whole conversation happen live?
officially live on Facebook.
Like, why would you do that to
Still
me?
catching up, but we are
Like, who
good
does
to
that?
go.
That's why I had them start over, so we wouldn't do this. Okay.
All right, cool. And action.
Hello, and welcome to the Necessary Unnecessary podcast. I'm your host, Nip Swag. This is your host,
Frisco
in the building, and we have a very special guest
Hello.
today, Miss Bobette.
Bobeth Yates. You can call me
Bobeth.
Bobette too.
Bobette.
My parents call me Bobette.
Bobeth. Get it right. You're not going to get it wrong. Bobeth, please tell them who you are.
Well, I am an award-winning journalist. I've worked at multiple stations in the Atlanta market and also across the country. Most recently with 11 Alive and the old CBS 46, now AF.
So, today we're going to talk about news and media and things of that nature because the revolution will not be televised. And where do you get your news from, guys? Where do you get your news from? Because it's many different platforms and forums to get your news from these days. And Miss Bobette is on the news. Bobette is on the news. So we're going to talk about it.
Yes. I love the fact that you're using like the authentic version of my name.
I need
Wait,
to.
what is that?
So
Bobette.
how he says Bobette, like that's how my mom says it.
Yeah. For
Okay,
sure.
we gonna say
That's how she says it.
Bobette.
I say Bobeth, but that's what I tell people.
Bobette?
But that's like literally if
What
I
does
was
it
talking.
mean?
Like my grandmother
There's
calls
no
me
meaning.
Marquis because my name is Marquis. She goes, I named you Marquis.
Not
and I'd be
something else.
like, you know what I mean? No, don't do that. It's the S on it, Grandma.
I'm just fag. Just straight to the point, fag. Nothing exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting because it's not spelled like that. But we're not going to talk about names today. We're going to talk about news, and we're going to talk about news.
Yes.
Bobette,
So
where do you get your news from?
So I get my news from usually a news source. So you got the big three. You can call it the big four. So you got the ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox.
So CNN is not even in it?
I don't count CNN as local news just because it's more commentary. You have more commentary shows which kind of I just think they're different. So my news source isn't any of the CNN, MSNBC, or Fox News nationals.
None of those.
I usually go local.
Local?
And I go local because I feel like it's more pertaining to the things that impact me as a person. And because I've been in local news for so long, you start realizing the differences. Like I can't say some of the things you'll see on an Anderson Cooper show. Okay. Our stuff is strictly assigned to that story, and I can't even give my own opinion. It's the two sides, the left, the right side, what they say, and I'm just bringing it to you.
Okay. I told my grandma to stop watching the news. Because
Don't
every time
do
I
that.
call my grandma, she's watching the news, and she go, "Oh, Marquise is terrible. This has happened. This." I said, "Grandma, stop watching the news." Ain't nothing but bad news on that thing.
Where she'll get her information from?
What
not on
does she
Instagram?
don't need to know all that stuff. Stuff ain't doing nothing but worrying her.
Yes, you do. Like, for instance, today we were having this conversation earlier. There was a whole tsunami warning.
Okay, I didn't watch the news and I found out about it.
But by the time you found out, it's too late.
No, it wasn't.
No, but how did you find out about it?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Let's hear this.
I seen people posting like, "Thanks for the warning" on Facebook. I'm like, what warning are they talking? I didn't
social
think
media.
much about it. And then my cousin called me, who was in Vegas, and said, "Hey, you need to check on your family. It's a tsunami warning out there. Is the family cool out there?" So I immediately got off the phone with him. I started calling people. I said, and then I went to YouTube to get the information on, because they go live and they have recorded stuff. So I started researching it on YouTube, and I started calling my family, and they didn't know much about it. I said, hey, y'all need to get the information, start looking it up, see what they're saying, because they had tidbits, it's so many sources of different information.
But that's my problem with how news is evolving. Because when you're getting it from these different sources, you don't know what their gathering process is. You don't know where they're getting their information, how factual the information is, and who's helping to collect it.
But then, like I said earlier, sometimes the news be late. They be on the late show. They got to get it from social media, because sometimes stuff break on social media first, and it be all over because somebody was there. Bubba was on his phone, and he started pulling it out, and he's shaking it, and he got an iPhone 4, and it's looking terrible.
Viral.
And now you posting that on the news, though.
The next day.
You know what I mean?
Correct. And then we're trying to get in contact with Bubba and say, hey, can we use your video?
Yeah.
But the difference is when Bubba posted, Bubba's showing you what's happened. But Bubba don't have those details.
That's true.
And what happens is people see something and they jump to all these different conclusions. And the reality is, unless you have this is my problem with social media. All these are different sources that come together to give you the full picture. But what's happening is we're seeing one source but not the rest. One source but not the rest. And so we're not seeing the full picture. And so you need Bubba's intake, because he was directly on the scene. But you also need the police's intake that says, this is true, Bubba only caught this part and this. And then you also need the other perspective of maybe the family members or the individual that was directly involved. And so until you get all of those together, you don't have a full picture. And so what happens with social media and all these different sources is you're getting one perspective, and we take that perspective as the full picture, and it's not the full picture.
That's so true.
But this is another thing about the news and why
I'm not saying it's not bad.
No, I'm just saying, though, because, okay, now you have this information, but sometimes it gets spent and it turns into propaganda, and it's filtered through all these different channels that feed all their different interests, and then by the time you get it, you don't know whether to believe it or not.
Okay, I hear you, and I understand that perspective too. But that's, again, go back to why I watch local news. Ain't no perspective to fill. When they send me out to a story, they're saying, hey, Beth, get these facts. This incident happened, find the details. Okay. And I don't have no time to be spinning a perspective. They don't tell me, hey, they don't even tell me, go find the person that supports this. I don't care if you support or you against. I'm just trying to gather and get my deadline. And so I think there's this whole fake news mindset that has really increased since the Donald Trump era, his first election.
Fake news.
And I just don't believe in it. Now, I do believe some of these commentary shows go too far, where they have, hey, guess what happened? And you have people that are two opposite sides speaking to each other about some things that are completely polar opposite, but both of those individuals are giving the complete polar opposites.
So I guess that I will because I definitely catch national news more than I catch local news, and it's so
Haters.
opinionated.
Haters.
You know what I mean? It's so
hating on local
focused
news.
on the
He's trying to ignore me.
no, it's so focused on what wing they're trying to push. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I don't even know the difference between the this wing and that wing news site because I'll click on something because I want to see what that story is about, and I'll start watching and I'll be like, oh, they're right wing.
And that's the unfortunate part about this. The disservice that many of these agencies are doing or news channels are doing, they don't realize they are preventing people from getting actual information they need. The whole purpose of news, when it was first created, that's why you have those the big four that you can watch without cable.
Okay.
I know people don't realize this, but if you turn your TV on with an antenna, you are supposed to get those channels,
Yes.
regardless. And that is why, because you need to be able to disseminate real facts to the people when they need it. It has turned into something else.
Bobby, who got an antenna? But aliens.
You know
An
what?
antenna,
You
like
know
the
what?
rabbit
You
ears.
know what?
Am I the only
What
one?
you mean?
You know,
I ain't
so
seen
but
the antenna
I
since
have
the
bought.
80s.
So the antennas don't look like antennas no more. They're not rabbit
They
ears.
do still have antennas.
But
built
I
in
just
TVs.
bought one the other day
They do.
because I cut the cord from. Well, I shouldn't say I cord from cable completely. But now they charge you
have
per
cable
home.
either.
But now they charge you per room, right?
Yep.
So I was like, well, I don't need it in the guest bedroom. I'm gonna get an antenna. So I went to the store and just bought an antenna, plug it to my TV, and I get 43 channels for free.
She is so cute. I love
I'm an
it.
app man myself.
I ain't buying no damn
I got
app.
a smart TV. I go on
I
the
ain't buying.
apps.
I am not paying no more monies.
I heard
No,
that,
but
girl.
a lot of
All
apps
these
are free. It's
subscriptions.
I only pay for a couple of apps.
Let me give you my Fire Stick and you unlock it for me, and then you give it back to me.
I cannot. I know someone can do that now.
Yeah, I'm looking for one right
I
now.
know
If
somebody
anybody
do
has
that.
a fire stick,
I cannot.
like it.
call me. I'll purchase it.
So I got a
Jailbroken.
question. I have a question. Do you think the news would eventually become extinct and social media would be like take over and be the new news media? Because they have like
I think that's a
'cause they have
struggle.
the Shade Room and all these other different news outlets on social media that are super big and get a lot of stories way before the news does. Because that's where I get a lot of my information.
I think
You know what I mean?
that's the struggle that local, even national news is having right now, trying to revamp to conform to how society is changing. But I do believe it will always have a very, very important role. I don't believe the role is going to be what it is. I think as you see more people creating podcasts, there's networks for this and networks for that. I think right now where the pendulum has just switched, where there's this overcorrection and everyone is, just putting an input,
And y'all
putting an
competing
input.
with Bubba.
Yeah, exactly. We're competing with Bubba. Everyone's getting.
Because Bubba was there.
Everyone has
Acting
an
so
input.
like, oh, I'm finna
Seriously.
film this with my shaky hand.
But
You know what
I think what's going to happen is going to be the correction the other way. They're going to be they're going to realize that there's just so much disinformation that's incorrect. People are going to swing back to the other side, and they're going to start using local news. And I just hope that when they do start swinging back, that we as an industry is ready and have corrected some of the things that are preventing people from watching. Right now there's this, if it bleed, it leads mentality. If, we're going to every death and every ambulance, like
That's what I was
it
finna
can be a lot.
I
But
don't
people
watch
don't
the
want all that
news.
negative.
I don't watch the news because it's always bad news. And
No, that's not true. No, I used to watch KTVU, Channel 2 News in the Bay Area. Every morning when I would get dressed, I would have my little app on my little phone. I'd just be sitting there getting ready for work. And they would have good stuff too. Like they would talk about like a new bakery opened or a new playground for kids or so-and-so, some little small business is thriving. And they always had a thriving business in San Francisco. Like it's not all negative.
well, when I watch it, it be bad news.
No, it's not. You're looking for the negative. That's what it is.
I'm not.
You're looking
That's
for
why
the
I don't
negative.
watch
If you
it.
watch
If I
the
was
whole
looking for
thing
it, I
for
would
a
sit
whole
there and
entire
watch it.
hour, because I would be sitting in traffic
Those
for 2
stories
hours.
are not highlighted.
No, some of them are, because they'll tell you like next we
So
have.
you'll have this story, say like today, they had the tsunami in California. So you watching that, that's gonna automatically be stuck in your mind. Not 84-year-old grandma who made the biggest cookie on the Guinness Book of World Records. You're not finna remember that.
But you need to know about the tsunami because guess what? If you didn't know about it, and
But
if it
you
did
don't
happen,
need to know about grandma that made the biggest
but
cookie.
it's but that's still it's
World
not
Records.
news.
But that's the part of the problem, that the struggle that the news industry is having, because if I pitch a story about the grandma with the cookie, I believe that, or my bosses believe that no one is interested. They're not going to turn in to watch the grandma with the cookie.
They know.
Right? And so as a society, we say, we don't want violence and news is too violent. But that's what they want. Because if you
get
don't,
the most views.
Because if you don't have
and
it,
violence.
they don't watch, right? So they say they don't watch because it's too gory and sad and negative. But when you have the grandmas and this and Pollyanna stories on, they're like, oh, that's not the real news.
That's so true.
So it's this balance that you're trying to find, and I think that's the dilemma where with the news industry, you're trying to figure out how much is too much. How much negative, because they want to hear it. How much negative can I give them before they turn away?
Okay, so I'm going to be transparent with our viewers, and I'm
only
going to
watch
say
the news.
that
What?
I get my political news from Saturday Night Live,
Wait, what?
and I get my emergency news from online,
He
Facebook,
said
What do you
Saturday
what do
Night
you mean
Live.
online?
Facebook and Instagram on social
Why do you gotta
media.
say it like that? You
Where,
kill my
okay,
nerves.
so a lot of agencies have Facebook. When you say Facebook, are you talking about CNN's Facebook page, or are you
you
talking
go to your
I'm
about?
talking about my cousin and them.
So you basically you go to your Facebook thread and you
Dead
go
end.
to
Yeah, and
your
I'll
feed.
look like, oh, what's going on? Let me try. And then I'll go to YouTube after that and be like, let me see what they talking about. But
You are.
And
or I'll make a few phone calls like, hey,
Hey,
what's
what
going on
happened?
out there? That's what I did today. I promise you, this is how I went. I was looking on Facebook. It was like, thanks for the warning, this, that, and the third. And, oh, my goodness. Oh, you felt that? And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? So,
How was
I
you
didn't
feeling
really-
way out here?
Y'all both from Cali,
no,
though.
but this is what I'm seeing on my
Yeah, we
timeline.
are.
This is on Facebook, right? So I'm like, I didn't think too much about it. Like, okay,
didn't see
I
any
guess
of that.
somebody else know what's going on. Then my cousin called me, who wasn't even in California, who's in Nevada, and say, oh, you need to check on your folks in California. They this. And I said, oh, for real? Let me get on the YouTube and see. So I'm watching on YouTube while I'm calling my folks like, hey, y'all watching this? Y'all need to
I
see
can't.
this. What do y'all all know about
can't.
this? And y'all need to get together
He's
a
so
plan.
hood.
And hey,
So
Get it together.
at this point, those local stations, and I didn't watch the local news, but in general, I'm going to say those local stations probably said if there's a tsunami warning, they're going to cut into programming, and they're giving you real life updates with their
Yeah.
meteorologists, and they're telling you real information.
Yeah.
Now you going on Facebook, Bubba them going to give you some information that may not be true.
Oh shit! The tsunami coming! The wall of water coming!
And have
It's
you
not
making
even-
and
it's
have you
not
making
even all that.
decisions,
It's not
have
even
you
all
making
that.
decisions for your life and your family's lives
All
without
because
all of the
somebody
full
said.
information.
Right.
but all of the glimpsing that I did, I found out that there was a tsunami warning.
That is
there
correct.
were earthquakes, that the tsunami warning that ended. And I knew all that before my family did in California. And I'm calling them like, hey, you guys need to be following this. I'm not finna be watching this all day. I'm not even out there. But
Y'all need to get it together.
I need for y'all to be watching this
You know
stuff
how
so
I
you can
found
get
out?
together and plan.
I didn't even find out from social media.
Okay.
I picked up my phone because I was doing stuff in the house, and I just see like 100 texts in our family thread. And I'm like, what
Right.
the hell?
You know?
And they're all like,
So
"Leave
that's
me
another
down.
that's
Get
another
on
source.
work."
That's
And
another
I'm
source
like,
of
wait,
you know,
what? Then I Google,
yeah.
right? Because Kate
Look.
can't click on the news because
So
I'm waiting
she was
Georgia.
alerted by some
I go
form
on, I
of-
go
her
and I
cousins
go
in
on
them.
Google.
I take all information, okay? So
Okay.
I'm not saying one is wrong. I'm just saying
Right.
we need more than one.
That is true, though. That is true. Perspective is very,
all.
But
very,
I'm not
very,
gonna be
very,
sitting there
very important.
watching the news all day, every day, waiting for something to happen. I feel like if it's important enough, I'll hear about
But you'll
it.
get notifications sent to your phone.
So remember a couple
where?
months couple months ago when
No,
they
I
had the shooting
I got
in
enough notifications.
you're a mess. Well, the guy that stole the city bus, the shooting in like the Peachtree
I know he
I
stole a
heard
city
about
bus.
that.
and then he
I
stole a
did.
city bus and went on a like And there was a full lockdown telling people to
Yeah.
get into their house,
Yep.
stay
Yeah.
away from certain areas.
Because he stole the bus?
Because he had it was like what's that movie where
Speed.
they stole the bus and they running and
Speed.
is that what it was?
Speed.
You sure?
With Keanu Reeves?
I don't remember.
I cannot.
Well, anyway, it was like that kind of situation. He's holding the bus hostage with the gun,
Why
shooting
everybody
people.
else got it? You in
Because you don't know
Georgia.
where the bus going.
But it's like so many people with guns out here.
Man,
Oh, okay.
everybody carries that.
All right, now
I
we're
don't
going
think
too
we
far.
all need to go in the house. We'd be like,
But
okay.
you know, you
Everybody
got
carries
a bus with a bunch of hostages, and the person is crazy driving around hitting
It sounds
stuff.
like everybody need to get off the bus.
My whole point is, oh guys,
Jesus.
this
Well,
did
how
not
they
go
gonna
well.
have to get on? Everybody
My
can
whole,
afford to drive.
my point is, how
That
would you know that
particular
information?
bus? What are you
How would you know
talking
that
about?
information?
I didn't, and it didn't affect me not one bit.
Okay, I see.
Poor,
Makes sense.
poor people. I would have shot the bus up though for him. Hey,
What's wrong with
He said,
you?
he said,
But I agree with you. You do need somebody to go out there and do the research and get the backstory, because we'll just see
Yeah.
like the Alabama situation when we just seen the fight. We don't know what happened that led up to the fight.
We kind of do.
No, I'm talking about at the beginning. We
There
did.
was so many different videos from
I
people that
love-
were there
I
that we
love-
could put it together.
Right.
Like
I
you
love
know.
the video of the guy swimming across.
Yeah.
The
He's
young
like,
dude?
I'm off work. I'm going on my break.
He said, I'm
I'm
swimming across.
swimming.
He did. He
I'm
did.
swimming to the
He did.
fight.
And the news got it when.
We had it, I'm sure they had it on at 5
I
or
had
4
it by
o'clock.
later, but it went viral way before
That's
that.
what I said.
See, but that's the thing. So the going to viral just gives you like, hey, this happened, but you
Right.
don't have all the details.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's
But
all
they
I'm
pulled
saying.
all the details.
They did it.
Mostly
They just
from,
knew.
from
They
the
just,
videos that were there.
no, they
though.
just knew there was a fight and people would swim across waters to go to
Right. They
participate
didn't
and
even
hit
know
people with
specifically
chairs.
exactly
But-
what started it.
But
from
the
very, it happened- it
the
happened-
news flushes the information out. The
Right.
news says, okay, here is what happened. Here's what past, present, and next. You know, that's where you can trust that information, and that's the difference. I can't just see something on social media and say I trust it.
Yeah, because they
I
edit,
can't.
they do do a whole lot of editing.
I can't, and
snipping
that's fact. So if you're going to just use social media as your source of news, your potential of having incorrect information or just misjudging the information that's being presented increases.
Okay.
So is that all media outlets?
So there was a time that I would not just watch like the NBC, CNN, and Fox. I needed to watch all of them to see what all of them are saying, because sometimes you do, as with any industry, you have people that are not good at their jobs. You're going to have, you think about doctors. There's some bad fucking doctors. I'm sorry for cursing.
Oh, for
No,
sure.
There's some bad doctors.
cusses a lot.
There's some bad doctors out there. But there's also, and same thing, teachers. There's some bad teachers. There's police officers. There are bad police officers.
Yeah.
There are bad news people. Everyone in every industry, there's some good, there's some bad. And so not everyone is going to do always the necessary thing to make sure they're covering their bases and doing due diligence. And some people can get away with things that others can't.
Okay.
So you just have to be mindful and use common sense. It's like, hey, this story I just heard, is it missing something?
So I'm glad you said that. So let me know what your necessary and unnecessary is about where you get your news.
For me, unnecessary, I'm not getting it from social media. If I know something happens, I'm looking on social media for additions. I'm looking for social media for videos to prove what I already know, or video or to connect me with a person that was there, or an individual that's impacted. But I'm not going to social media to get my news. I don't trust that, because the Bubba on the street don't know what happened. Bubba on the street
Bubba
just
was there.
Bubba's
on the
no,
ground.
Bubba
seen the whole
Bubba don't
thing.
know what happened.
Yeah, he
Bubba
don't know at
don't
the
know.
very beginning.
So Bubba's gonna say, "I saw this," but really, Bubba may not have saw the big picture.
Okay.
And so I'm not getting anything from social media. I think that's unnecessary, and that would, for me, put me in a situation where, for me as a journalist, my biggest fear, biggest problem, someone coming back and saying, you did it wrong.
Ooh.
So when I go into the situation, my goal is to get it right. And so if I have any question about what the interview said, any question about what something else, it is not included in my story. Because my job, my livelihood, my reputation is not worth this person's life.
I appreciate those people who say, we don't know this yet, but you know what I mean? This is what we have so far. That's what you're supposed to do.
And that's what I do. Like, I'll go there. I say, hey, I have not confirmed this from the police, but I am being told X, Y, Z.
Definitely.
So I'm giving you the information, but let's say social media, they're not going to have that same training. They're not going to have that same respect for the general public. They're just going to just disseminate whatever comes.
Okay. So what's your necessary?
My necessary, I know my necessary went on a long time.
It's okay.
That's good.
My unnecessary, I got another one. My mom.
How you got all unnecessary?
I got another. Any information my mother gives me, I got to check.
Your mother?
Uh-huh. She'd be like, I heard on the news. No.
Mama be knowing stuff.
She's not reliable.
Oh, no.
She's not reliable.
I listen to my mama.
I'll be like,
Hi, Mom.
anytime she says, I heard, I have to go and do my own research before I say, I don't even dispute it anymore. Because before I used to go back and forth. I was like, that didn't happen.
Okay.
I'm with
now I say, let me just check. Let me
I
just
never
check the
said,
information.
she came on here and said, don't listen to your mama.
I didn't say that.
She said, my mom.
I said my mom. I said my mom. Your mom may be
My
right.
kids don't listen to me.
My mom, I'm not. Necessary, though, I think, is local news. And I don't care which station. I feel as if local news has the most accurate and information because of the stringent guidelines they have. They're closer to the streets, and also I believe local things impact people more. Not saying federal doesn't matter, but your city and your county officials are making rules and regulations that impact your life that month, that year, that day. And those are the ones I feel like I need to watch more.
That's facts.
So
Facts.
for me, local is it. I don't care which station local.
Frisco?
She's talking about YouTube, Instagram.
Right. Necessary. My necessary would be to use all platforms, like you said, definitely.
Look at her.
Use them all. It just makes sense. So you can get a better perspective of what's going on, and also do your own research. I did that today. And my unnecessary, don't believe in the clickbait. Don't fall for clickbait.
I've been falling for that so much.
See, no, don't fall for
They tell the
clickbait.
story and then they just
No,
drop
don't
off.
fall for
And you be
clickbait.
like, oh, I'm going to
Don't
click on
do
this.
it.
And you be
Don't.
like, buy this fan. Sentiment has the best sense for your home. I'll be like, what happened?
And you never get the full story.
Right. It's never there because
Exactly.
it's clickbait. It just wants you to click on the sentiment, the Aroma 360.
And that's another thing. Some of these titles, some places will use like the headline just to get you to click, but the headline be completely incorrect. They just want you to click on the story.
Don't fall for the clickbait.
Don't come.
So,
What's yours, sir?
Yeah, what's yours? Share.
my necessary is to seek the truth.
I like that.
Wherever you find it, wherever it may be, because we have so much information just flying at us at 400 miles per hour at our face all day because we're in our phones from every different
so true.
direction and so many different mediums, and everybody's trying to feed information. They don't care if it's wrong, right, or indifferent.
You're right.
No.
Everybody who says one thing, I promise you, is somebody else who says the total opposite.
Correct.
So the truth is out there, people. I don't know how hard it is to find. You might even have to develop your own truth, because that's what I do most of the time. I take his side, her side, and I kind of
Blend
put
it
it
in the
together
middle.
and try to just find the similarities to it. Like, this is the truth. because they both said this, and I just have to extract this from, because it's so many people vying for, it's so many mediums, it's so much information. We're in the information age.
Yeah.
So that means it's a multitude of bad information out there. It's a multitude of good information. And anytime there's good information, there's people to contradict it with bad information, and you never really know the truth. That's why it makes it so hard for politics, because for everybody who says one thing is someone who says the total opposite, and it's just who you choose to believe. So
Have you all noticed there, and I don't have an example to give you, but there have been multiple instances where there's like a social media personality who's being sued for saying something that wasn't true, and then you find out that they were paid to say this incorrect information.
That's why I say propaganda. You know what I mean? And it's stuff that's being fed to us. And I mean, it depends on the level of wokeness you have. I choose to be semi-woke because I'm probably in the matrix, but I don't even want to go through all of that. And you know what I mean? I choose to be semi-woke because a lot of that stuff you can't really do nothing about.
Yeah.
For real. So you invest in that energy, and you got people out here fighting so hard to fight against the systems and this, that, and the third. Well, really, you need to create your own system and fight them that way, and stop trying to buy into those systems that are leading you astray and misguiding. You spend so much time fighting the system that you miss the progress that you could have made if you would have developed your own system and fought against the system that way.
That's beautiful.
It is. And I like the mindset, because I think that's exactly, you said what I was thinking exactly. It's like, you can't just get it from one source. You have to do some level of your own research. You have to understand that there are people that want to misguide you. And for whatever reason, if it's they want clickbait or ad or money for something, whatever it is, there are people that are designed to misguide you. And just like anything else in your life, you don't just take just random information.
Which is good. Go ahead. We'll take random information.
Yeah, you don't just take random information from any source. You'd be like, let me check this out.
So I don't know if that was my necessary or my unnecessary, but my next point is,
Oh, Lord.
my first frame of focus is the news that is happening in my own life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have your own news. What's going on in your house?
Your baby
What's
mama?
going on at your job? What's your baby mama talking about? And you know what I mean? What are your kids doing? And that's news, people.
That is.
Focus on your own news before you get to running off
Mind your business.
trying to save the
I just
world.
mind my black business.
All right, I'm done. We thank Bobby for coming on the show. We appreciate you so much.
So much.
You know
Thank
what's
you.
funny? I just love that he's like my mom and just refused to say how I wanted to say it.
I asked you to say it 3 times so I could get it
She
right.
said-
I
wanna
said
say
it, Bo Beth. But
Yeah.
you
Like
you
Bo?
like my mom. Like we gonna call
And
Bobette is it.
That's probably right. You saying it
Bobette.
wrong.
That's what we doing it.
Hi, Mama Bobby. We got it right on the Necessary Unnecessary podcast. Thanks guys for tuning in. Like, share, follow, comment, and all of the above. And we out.
Bye. Thank you guys.
Time to eat. Yep.
Oh no.
Good job, guys.
How did it go?
That was beautiful. You did so well as usual.